It's interesting to see. Yeah, no, it's not going to be a rival to the NFL. Nothing will rival the NFL for a long time. Um, sure, it'll probably start. It'll probably have one season, and I don't see it lasting more than maybe 2 years, 2 or 3 years maximum, before it completely folds, if that. I think I would be more interested in it if it were a straight up developmental league for the NFL, kind of like the G League for basketball.
See what you mean. I did cut out. It's audio wise, I
It
think.
were a straight up developmental league for the NFL. John, kind of like the G
It's
League
fixed now. It's
for
fine.
basketball.
All right. It's fixed now. Oh, we finally have somebody watching it. I'm just over here screwing it up. Anywho, let's move on to the MLB. How about that? MLB opening up this next week.
Yeah,
And
you can do that. I know nothing.
yeah, are you excited at all?
No,
You don't care at
no,
all.
not really.
It's just so
Oh, I have to
disappointing.
join your fantasy baseball league.
I haven't started it yet. It's okay. We're probably not gonna play because at this point it's me and you. That's no fun.
Why not? We'd have stacked teams.
It's not gonna be any good. So
You're right.
the games will start this next week on Tuesday, March 27th, and that'll be the regular season. So, actually, hold on, let me double check. The 29th. That's when the actual opener is going to be for a lot of different folks. And
Next week.
Cubs,
Next
Marlins,
weekend, isn't
Pirates,
it?
Tigers, Cardinals, Mets, Twins, Orioles.
Sunday.
Yeah, pretty much everybody. Yeah, it's exciting times. Will you watch any baseball
No.
this year? So
Ah.
it's absolutely no
No.
baseball for you.
Not until the end of summer.
Gotcha. All right. So
That's all I got on that.
do you think that Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge will have combined for over 100 home runs by the end of the season?
Ooh, no,
No?
no.
Will
50
either of them
each?
hit 50? Well,
Yes.
it could be 60-40. It could be 45-55. Doesn't really matter.
Giancarlo will hit 50. Aaron Judge will not.
You think Aaron Judge's going to have a slump year now?
Oh yeah,
Sophomore slump?
He's not even gonna sniff 50.
I gotcha. All right. Well, fair enough. And I think that'll
He
take
was
us.
a flash in the pan, man.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Flash in the pan.
Agree
He's
to
like,
disagree.
Is it who's the guy on Major League that can only hit a fastball?
Serrano.
Serrano.
Yeah. Look that one up for Mini-So Monday if you're not doing anything this weekend.
I am doing things this weekend.
Well, you don't have to listen.
That's why we're recording right now.
You got a lot of travel though, so you could listen to it
I do.
during that time. All right, let's head into the important standings. We got the Columbus Crew sitting at 2-0-1. They tied with whoever they were playing last week, 0-0.
Philadelphia.
It was a draw against Philadelphia. So
Roar.
nothing too exciting there. Columbus Blue Jackets sitting at 49-28-5. They have a 9-game winning streak. So they are playing pretty well and still hanging on to that first wild card spot.
No, sorry, I didn't update that part. They are not. They are 2 points ahead of that first wild card spot. They are officially third in the Metropolitan Division, which slots them into. I guess it's one step ahead of the wild card spot.
Got it. So they are no longer in wild card contention. Actually, they still are in contention, but
they are very much. There are
they're just not there.
8 games remaining.
Yeah.
For the Blue Jackets. Florida is in that first wild card spot. So that's a big game upcoming this Thursday that they're going to play. They're hosting Florida. So huge game against Florida there. And then St. Louis and Edmonton on Saturday and Tuesday going to be important games as well. But this big game on Thursday night against Florida for the Blue Jackets to reach double-digit win streak really would be very beneficial if they were able to win that one.
Yeah, John Tortorella, a.k.a. Johnny Torts, very excited about the upcoming matchups so they can solidify that spot. Ohio State men's basketball, they did all right. They beat South Dakota State, barely. And then
they won by like 15.
Yeah, but they initially, things were looking a little scary. They went on a couple runs, and really weren't leading by that much until probably the end of the fourth or end of the second half. So I wasn't super impressed. It looked like the Big Ten tournament again. And I just kept expecting South Dakota State to actually pull it off and have the Jackrabbits move on to the second round. They did lose to Gonzaga, and that's too bad. But that was the end of their season. They're done now. Better than people expected.
Well exceeded expectations.
Yep.
They were projected to finish 11th in the Big Ten. They finished as the what would we say, the 2 seed or the 3 seed, 2 or the 3 seed in the Big Ten tournament. So huge improvement in Coach Chris Holtzman's first year as the Buckeyes head coach. Exciting to see what they do going on here now that they have expectations going into Holtman year 2.
Year 2. That's when it all falls apart or comes together. One or the other.
Then it's his actual recruits at that point. So
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Is it either falls apart or it all comes together because he's been there. Cleveland Cavaliers. Speaking of falling apart, 42-29. They're still actually on a roll.
Tyronn Lue off the team as of right now, though.
Yes.
With health issues. Is expecting to be back next week.
He's got the vapors. He's got the vapors. You don't know, like an old Southern lady, like, oh, Lord, that gives me the vapors.
Never heard that in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But the Cavs are 42-29. They're first in Central Division, third in the Eastern. This next week they play Phoenix, your Suns, Brooklyn, Miami, and Charlotte. So they have a big schedule coming up on the end of the season. Let's see, if they're 42-29, that means that they're 71 games in, got 11 left. Yeah. So there you go.
42-29. It's
quick
and
math.
2 very, very, very winnable games. Their next 2 games with Phoenix and Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Phoenix, the worst team in the league right now, 19-53. Last in their division, last in the conference, 3-24 in their last 27 games. The last win was on February 28th, and then the last win before that was on January 31st. So as it stands, they're probably going to win on March 30th when they play on March 30th. So
that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah.
But these things happen.
Cleveland, Orlando, Boston, and the Clippers. So none of those are – all 4 of those are pretty good teams. So
it's not looking good. Not looking good for the Suns.
It is looking good because they're likely going to get a top 3 draft pick.
Yeah, the season's almost over. That's the only bright spot of all of this.
Yeah.
All right, into the fun and games. Last week we had, will all 4 number 1 seeds make it through the weekend? I said yes. Jeff, you said no. And as we all well know, they didn't all make it. 2 dropped out.
There's only 2 left.
1 lost in the first round to the Golden Retrievers. And, yeah, so there you go. You're at 8-3. I'm at 6-5 now. No pushes so far on the season. This week, the toss-up question: will LeBron score a triple-double against the Suns on Friday? So explain the triple-double real quick.
Double-digit total of points, assists, and rebounds. Or it technically could be double-digit stats in any number of things.
Yeah.
So you could have points, steals, and blocks. That'd be really super impressive if you had double-digit steals and double-digit blocks. But
can you imagine just like swatting 10 away per game and being like Russell Westbrook and averaging that every
a quadruple double has been done in the NBA before.
It's just so
like
rare.
Once ever.
It's not going to happen ever again. I don't think it will.
Very rare.
So will he score a triple double against the Suns on Friday?
I'm gonna say no. Because he won't play enough time. It'll be such a blowout.
Yeah.
He'll get rested.
So is this one where the players get to coach themselves, similar to a Warriors-Suns situation?
The Warriors did play the Suns last week, and Steve Kerr did coach in the game. So
yeah, I mean, he did a couple times back, and you were super pissed about it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so I don't think. Teron Lu's not there, so maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess we'll find out. Would you rather for the week? Would you rather win the NIT or lose to a number 16 school in the first round of the NCAA tournament?
Win the NIT.
Last year, you said you would rather be out of the first round.
Yeah, I'd rather lose in the first round, but not if I was a 1 seed.
Got it. So you don't want to be the first team in history to lose to a number 16 team as the number 1 team overall.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Okay.
If I were the 16 seed, I would rather be the 16 seed that got in and lost to a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Than win the NIT.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you just look stupid if you lose to number 1. Like, who am I kidding? Like, we're all making fun of Virginia. It's like, you lost to the Golden Retrievers.
Yeah. And the Golden Retrievers looked really, really bad in the second round.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were not good.
So, by comparison, Virginia is just, didn't look good. Yeah. All right. So, that one is answered. Anything else here in the headlines portion of the show?
Penny Hardaway coaching his alma mater at Memphis.
Whoa. Why is that a big deal?
University. It's a big deal. He hasn't coached college before. He's coming straight from high school to coach a major D1 school. It is his alma mater, so that's kind of cool that he gets to do that. But, yeah. Sam Darnold had a rainy pro day today.
All the Browns were
passing dimes.
So that's good news for Cleveland because that makes it
looking
pretty
to go
easy
to Cleveland.
yeah.
He will likely be a Cleveland one.
I'm thinking he probably will. Yeah. At this point, like Senior Bowl or Rose Bowl, he was dropping dimes, and then also in the rain he's dropping dimes. So I don't know. It's hard to say no at this point.
The Carolina Panthers are in an auction right now to own the Carolina Panthers. Apparently, the bidding is now surpassed $2.5 billion.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have that much money.
I'm just reading headlines at this point. So.
All right. So that'll do it for the headlines portion of the show. Jeff is tired. We're going to get out of here. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook. At Toss Podcast is the Twitter handle. I should probably say that. And then, yeah, you can find us on iTunes, subscribe there, Stitcher, any other podcast listening device. And we'll, I don't know, as long as the audio sounds okay on this, we might continue doing the live stream as we do these shows. So if you haven't yet, just click that subscribe button if you're watching right
Screw
now.
that.
Okay.
That was aggressive. I'm sorry.
It was aggressive. All right, that'll do it for the headlines. Bye.
Bye.
All right, stay on. We'll just roll right into Skull and Bones.
Those one listener, one watcher that we have, Jackie.
It might be. Watcher, speak up. Say something in the live chat channel. That way I can see if that's actually working.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Where do I see it? Oh, is that
you gotta pull it up on YouTube.
Hello.
In YouTube.
Or does that just go to you? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
I just wrote in the chat bar on the appear in.
Oh, yeah, I see that now. Yep, slid up.
Hello.
So,
where is this on YouTube?
It's in our creator channel. Yeah.
So why are we on appear in?
We're on appear in so that we can have the background. We can have you over there. We can have me over here, and then we can have everybody else that joins someday when they call in. We can have them all across here, and I have total control over everything. So there you go. If you're watching on YouTube still, as we chat back and forth, now you know all of our secrets. You know how to do a live sports show with call-ins. But the key with that is you actually have to have people call in. So far, we got nobody. All right. Skull and Bones, off-season, week 6. And just starting off with a yawn because it's late on a Wednesday night. John screwed up the recording on Tuesday night.
Well
So
past my
we are
bedtime.
back and better than ever, I think. But
Something like that.
who am I to say?
You're John Hurley?
And I'm Jeff Peterfee.
What?
What? Skull and Bones. If you're new to the show, this is all Vikings and Browns news. And this last week, the Vikings had a pretty good week, I would say at least. So I'll let Jeff go ahead and give you a rundown of what the Vikings ended up doing this week.
Subtractions from the Vikings. We'll go with what they lost first.
Yes.
It's kind of backwards. Bearing the headline here. Lost Sam Bradford to the Arizona Cardinals. Lost Teddy Bridgewater to the New York Jets.
Sad day.
Lost Case Keenum to the Denver Broncos.
Also sad.
Lost Jerick McKinnon to the 49ers.
Semi-sad. He was a good running back, so yeah, it's fairly sad.
Those are the main ones. Trying to think. No other big name guys were lost from the Vikings.
Yeah.
That I can remember off the top of my head, at least. So none that I really care about after that.
That's good.
A couple of Tom Johnson. He's gone. He was an older defensive tackle.
I thought you said a couple of Tom Johnsons. I was like, were there multiples on the Vikings?
A couple of guys,
yeah,
comma, Tom Johnson.
Ah.
Jarius Wright, he was the number 3 wide receiver for the team. He's gone. They let him go. Restructured Latavius Murray's contract, so he's making a little bit less, freed up $1.5 million in cap space this year.
Good on him.
What?
Said good on him for taking reduced pay. Although
Help
he
the
probably
team.
just didn't get the choice, did he?
It was get released or take less money. So,
so
essentially,
don't go the Adrian Peterson pride route. Just
they,
take the money.
They had to restructure his deal because they paid some overrated quarterback named Kirk Cousins $84 million to come play for the Minnesota Vikings.
Is he really overrated though?
He's probably right around the 10th best in the league, I'd say.
10th
Give or
best?
take 1 or 2.
Okay. Keep going. I want to look something up.
He's just a little bit above average, I think. And I keep telling people I think the Vikings paid a lot of money to go 10-6 the next 3 seasons. I think he's good. I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's great. I think he's a good quarterback, but just good.
He hasn't really had the wide receivers, though.
The Vikings team as a whole is a great team. So you put a good quarterback onto a great team, and you have high potential to go very far in the playoffs. The defense is a top 2-3 defense in the league. They have all the parts in place now. And on offense, they had a couple of breakout young stars in 2 wide receivers, and Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. You've got Dalvin Cook coming back from injury. Latavius Murray is capable of running it by himself. And then you have Dalvin Cook, who's even better. You've got a couple of young pieces on the offensive line, but that's really the only thing that needs fixing on the Vikings right now. And that's hopefully what they go with the first-round pick is a lineman.
Yeah.
They really need a fat guy down in the trenches.
You thinking center or tackle?
All of the above. Not center.
Any of them. So you're not going to go Billy Price at this point?
Billy Price, I've seen some mock drafts pick him, but we would slot him in it as a guard.
Ah, gotcha. Interesting.
And the center out of Iowa also, I've seen in a mock draft, again, going to play guard for the Vikings. They need guard. Both of their guards are still up in the air whether or not we're going to re-sign them or let them go in free agency. And then the tackles were just very subpar last year. Good enough. Case Keenum made them look good, but they weren't that good. So
talking about Kirk Cousins, in the last 3 years, he has been in the he appears 3 times in the top 35 touchdown passers total. So you have 35, 30, and 20 are Kirk Cousins in the last 3 years. 2015, Kirk Cousins was at 29 touchdowns.
So not great.
I mean, they're not Aaron Rodgers numbers. They're
Are you
not
saying he's
Matt
thrown
Ryan
35
2016 numbers. So I would agree with you. The money
Are
that
you
you
saying
paid for
he's
him,
thrown 25 touchdowns?
not total across the 3 years.
Right.
In 2016, he threw 25 touchdowns. 2017, he threw 27 touchdowns. And in 2015, he threw 29.
Okay.
So
you're saying he was the 20th highest touchdown total last year?
out of the 35 highest touchdown throwing quarterbacks in the last 3 seasons, he appears on the list 3 times. And then you have other guys like Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Tom Brady that appear over and over and over again.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he'll be okay for you guys. He throws for over 4,000 yards per season.
By all means, I think it's the right move. I think it's what needed to happen. I think it's the best move the Vikings could have done. I think he's better than any of the 3 guys we could have brought back.
But
it's just a big contract, and that's just the way the NFL is these days. You can't do anything about it.
Anything else you get excited for, Vikings wise?
Sheldon Richardson signed defensive tackle from the Seattle Seahawks. He signs a 1-year prove-it deal for the Vikings. We needed him because, like I said, Tom Johnson is old, 34, 35 years old. He's gone. Kai Forbath was re-signed as the kicker.
Yep.
So now the Vikings have a kicker on the contract again. Yay. That's kind of cool to get him back, I guess. I don't know. I like yelling his name. It's fun to yell his name.
Kai! You mainly just yell Kai Y, or Y Kai.
And then Trevor Siemian, the Vikings traded for Trevor Siemian, the starting / backup quarterback for the Denver Broncos the past 2 years. He is now the backup for Kirk Cousins on the Minnesota Vikings. We traded a 5th-round pick, a 2018 5th-round pick for Trevor Siemian and a 2019 7th-round pick.
I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
I think it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So that's cool that we have good support in the back. It really in the first thing that Simeon said when he was traded, we found out about the trade when he was on vacation in some beautiful beach. He found out and he said, "I'm here for Kirk." That's the first thing he said publicly. So he knows his role. He knows he's not going to be competing for the starting job, and he's okay with that. Mostly because he saw what happened with Case Keenum last year and how important a backup quarterback position is to a good team like the Minnesota Vikings.
That's true. A
backup quarterback can lead you to the playoffs and lead you to second best record in the league.
Backup anything. Backup guard can sometimes get in there and make a world of difference.
You're one play away, John.
It's true.
You're one play away.
I got lucky my senior year, and the junior guard that was actually playing guard at the time, or the junior guard that was in there, broke his hand. So I got to play, and I kept that starting spot. So, suck it, Will Yoho. That was actually his last name. Sorry, I should have
what's
called
going on with the Browns?
Sorry, guy. So with the Browns, well, not a whole lot's going on at this point.
Joe Thomas is dead.
Well, dead is a loose term.
Sorry, that was aggressive.
He's going to try
playing player.
Yeah, he's going to try to do something with the Browns. He's also talked about doing some broadcasting. So he's had interviews. He's a charismatic guy. He had the Joe Thomas Hour, the best 6 minutes of your life that he had at his Cleveland show. Did you catch all that?
First podcast ever?
No, the Joe Thomas Hour, the best 6 minutes of your life.
Yes.
So I'm not going to over-explain it. Yeah, then he's got the Tomahawk podcast also that he does with Andrew Hawkins, which is it's a good time. So definitely, I will check out anything that he does just because he's kind of a fun guy.
It's the first podcast ever, right? Or what is it?
The first podcast in NFL history. That was one where he was interviewing Browns players, so I don't know if he's going to do that one anymore. It seems like he stopped doing that and was only doing the Tomahawk podcast, which I think is fine. The other one was interesting, but it just seemed like it got to be kind of the same thing after a while.
The Browns got Tyrod.
Browns did get Tyrod. That was last week's news.
So was Kirk Cousins.
It wasn't official. Wasn't official last week. No, there's not a whole lot else going on with the Browns. It's mainly who's their quarterback going to be, and after they went to the pro day for Sam Darnold, and he was apparently throwing dimes or dropping dimes.
Pouring down rain.
Yeah.
I saw a video.
I think they're probably sold on him at this point.
Yeah. It's exactly what Sam Darnold wanted to prove. There's a lot of outdoor teams that need a quarterback, and he proved it. And Browns outdoor team that needs a quarterback are the first ones that get to jump on him.
With the Jets moving up to number 3, I think the Browns definitely take a quarterback at number 1 instead of bothering with Saquon.
Yes.
The draft is running back heavy enough that it doesn't really matter.
I think Saquon will still be there at 4 if they want to take him, or if they want to get Bradley Chubb and really make a dominant defensive front. I think that's an option as well.
Can you imagine Myles Garrett on one side and Bradley Chubb on the other?
And where's Ogba in there?
In the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's scary. Ugh. Scary to think about. So yeah, I really not a whole lot. Like, there's not a whole lot going on. Hugh Jackson still says he's going to jump in the lake, so I hope he does.
Let it warm up a little bit. Don't want to kill the guy.
Related to Hugh Jackson, Joe Thomas said that Hugh was his favorite coach to play for. So that's kind of what I've thought the whole time, is that Hugh seems to have it under control. I know the record seems stupid that I'd be saying that. Like 1-31, and John's out here saying, "Oh, he's a good coach. He's got it under control." But I really think that's the case. So I'm hoping that
he was left with shambles, and they weren't as bad as 1-31.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I just can't see him being any worse or losing more games. So I gotta just hope that he's gonna be fine.
He has to go 10-6 the next 8 years to get back to 500.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, but that's okay. No big deal. I don't have anything else. You have anything else football related that you want to talk about?
I'm sure NFL rules are coming out soon. They're voting on all these new rules and everything, so could get a clarification on the catch rule. I've heard some things about it being a third step would solidify that catch rule and make it objective instead of subjective.
Yep.
I've heard that since it's subjective, whether or not they're carrying the ball, maybe you don't let that be replayable. You can't look at the instant replay.
Yeah.
So I've heard a couple of different things. We'll see what they end up voting on. So
yeah, whatever they determine that they want to do with the catch rule, that's going to be the big one that a lot of people get mad about, regardless. Right. On both sides. Some people are going to be mad that it changed, period. And some people are going to be mad that it's not specific enough now. So we'll see how that pans out. But I think for now, that will do it for Skull and Bones. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're on YouTube watching us, be sure to subscribe. If you're not on YouTube watching us, because we are live right now, subscribe on iTunes. You can find us on Stitcher, any other podcast listening device/app. And until next time, I'm John Hartley.
I'm Jeff Peterby.
Saying toodles.